Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is IC. This is 21 Questions with the Thorpes. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you've never ever been a part of this platform, please follow us. I've put 21, what did I put, 21 questions? I put 21 questions. Yeah, if you've never ever followed our platform, please make sure you press follow and get in on what we're doing. We've got 67 episodes that you can check out. Now, I think Instagram have taken off IG Live, so now it's just videos. Go check it out, press the button, and go check out all the other episodes. Big up to everybody that got tickets to the 30th of November. Woo, can't wait. That's going to be our second live event of 2021, and it's going to be the sit down with Henry Crusoe. So big up to everyone. Now, there's been a lot of people that have been messaging saying if there's any spare tickets. The tickets are done. There's no tickets on the door. But if anybody can't make it, we've told them, please let us know. And we're creating a waiting list. All right. So you can join that waiting list through, I'll put the link in the bio at the end of the session, www.thesitdownuk.com. Actually, I'll put it here if you're interested. www.thesitdownuk.com. UK. And when you go into the ticket section, there's a place where you can put your email, and that will let us know that, look, this is you want to come, and we'll let you know if any tickets become available. All right. How is everyone doing? Can I get in the comment section an emoji? Can I get an emoji that describes how you're feeling right about now? Big up Aaron in the building. You can check out his actual interview that we did a couple of weeks ago via our IGTV. I don't even know what they want to call it now. Oh, what that? But yeah, guys, in the comment section, let me have an emoji that describes how you're feeling today. All right. Let's see who we've got in the building. Say a couple of waves. We've got P Designs in the building. Today we're going to be talking to the Thorpes, a great couple on YouTube, but also on TikTok. Been hitting the viral headlines recently, but what they're definitely noted for is their candid, open portrayal of marriage, Christian marriage, and their willingness to just bear it all. And we're going to find out a bit about that today. All right, let's reload this song. I love this song. It's called Winter Toes by Sango and Spizat. All right, cool. Guys, let me know how you're feeling. Give me I want to see some emojis. Give me some emojis that describe how you're feeling today and right about now. Someone's got the hands up. Big up Rachel. Big up MA Designs with the fist bump. Cool. Let's see. Let's get a request to join. I'm going to meet the Thorpes. But yes, guys, once again, tickets are finished for the event on the 30th of November, but join the waiting list, because if any tickets become available, I'll be coming to you. All right. Make sure you follow the Sit Down UK. All right. What up, guys?
Hi.
I'm good. Oh, let me get this music. All right. How are you guys, man?
We're good still. Well, boy, listen.
Yeah.
It's our last day of isolation, so tomorrow we're out here, man. We've been stuck with COVID.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Tara, how you feeling?
Mash up. I never thought that this COVID could come and get me like this. I never thought I'd be the one. Ever. But I'm here.
COVID.
But you know what? Thank you for doing this, even in spite of. You don't have to, man.
No, man, it's cool. So sorry, guys. Forgive my appearance. This is not.
Oh, please.
You see what I look like on the videos. This is someone suffering with COVID at the moment. But yeah, thank you for having us.
Oh no, it's a pleasure, man. I saw that video, the video in the car with you guys rapping that day, and I thought, right, you got bars. And but it just made me go down this rabbit hole of finding out who you guys were, and I thought, nah, I need to find. I love what you're doing. I love what you're representing, and I love what you're about. And 21 Questions is all about unpacking people and their stories. And I know you've done so many different interviews and everything already. But this is going to be a little different, okay?
Okay.
So you have one pass card.
Okay.
And you can use... No, because two became one, so only one pass card. So you can have only one pass card. And that is for, if you don't want to answer a question, you can use that pass card.
Okay.
Now, in the 67 episodes we've had, somebody has only used their pass card once.
Okay.
All right, so we'll see how far we go. Big up to everyone that's joined us. 21 Questions. I wrote 21 questions in the title, but we move 21 questions with the Thorpes, and we're going to start off like this. You're going to have your quick fire round. Let me get your questions up right about now. Okay, so you can choose who answers this, but Tara, you might be able to answer this first one. What is the last thing Adrian has said in his sleep? So last time he was sleep talking.
Well, we've been separated for the last
Oh, wow, yeah.
10 days.
Damn.
But before that, I remember it wasn't a word. He was laughing in his sleep. And I got scared and I was like, big man, what? Wake up. What are you laughing about? And he couldn't tell me what he was laughing about. But I don't remember you ever saying
words.
No, it's just like giggling. Like it's quite creepy actually.
Have you recorded it before?
Yeah, I played it back to him.
Wow.
I played it back to him, and he'll have like he'll giggle and then be like, no, I can't no way though. Like he's dreaming, like he's chatting to the man name. Like, I don't know what it is, but yeah, I've definitely played it back to him before.
What you need to do is record it and put it on Spotify.
That's it.
What?
There we go. Put it on Spotify.
That's
And
it. That's it.
Let's make some money from this, man.
That's it.
All right, streaming. Question number two, £50,000 or you could get 8 million if you spend one night in a room full of spiders or butterflies.
50,000.
I'll take the 50.
I'll take the 50.
It's the 50.
Peace of mind is very important in life.
I can flip that. You can flip the 50. Crypto's booming at the moment. That's life.
Yeah. 50.
Imagine crypto's booming.
No separation.
Yeah.
Tara, I saw one video where you were at a wedding and you had to go in the car.
Listen, it was one of the most beautiful weddings I've ever been to. Never experienced anything, but you see them bugs? I had to say, I waited for the bride to walk down. She looked absolutely stunning. No disrespect to their wedding, because I absolutely loved it. But there was insects that I've never seen in my life.
Dragonflies. She went having
I said, no.
Butterflies.
I said, it's time for me to bounce. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. No, this is my nightmare.
Yeah.
I sat in that car with no conviction. Sat in that car, had the AC on, and yeah, man, I struggled with that wedding, boy. But it was beautiful, though.
What is your favourite thing to do as a couple?
As a couple? Ooh. Right now, since lockdown, I'm not really a person to just watch a series. But since lockdown, Tara's got me into watching series.
Yeah, man, I love series.
What's the last one that you watched?
I love series. We've watched...
Two favourites is This Is Us.
Yeah, and Bad Boy series.
And something called The Blacklist.
Yeah.
Ah,
amazing.
The Blacklist.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
The first two episodes, I was like, this is dead. Third one, I was like, hooked.
Yeah, it's mad. It's about this man who's on a blacklist in America. But
America's Most Wanted. And
he helps the government to find people on the blacklist. So
whoa,
so good.
There's so many twists.
What? Is that on Netflix?
Sky TV.
Sky TV.
Sky Atlantic. So you've got Now TV and stuff like that.
Okay, my wife is watching. Please write that one down. Blacklist. Okay,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, This Is Us is the greatest.
Every episode,
ever.
Tara was crying.
Honestly, I saw myself in every single one.
Trust me.
I said, that's me. That's me.
That's what it is. That's what it 100%. Is.
It's so wholesome, and it's something that I could sit down and watch with my mum. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and I appreciate that.
100.
But yeah, no, I definitely saw myself in every single one of the characters.
100.
You even had your eyes were watering a couple episodes.
I was never watering. My throat. had a frog in my throat a couple times.
Yeah, I know that frog. What do you love the most about each other? No. I'm going to leave that to the end. What would be your dream red carpet invite? Because you lot are moving up. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm surprised I even got this. You know what I'm saying?
Don't be silly.
Because the way the thing's set at the moment.
Dream.
You go first. I think
red carpet.
I can't think of one. I can think of like a few.
I don't know. If I'm going to be honest, yeah, I'm a foodie. Okay, I'm a foodie. I'm not gonna lie. We got invited to Popeyes. They're opening up a new Popeyes in Westfields, and I'm very excited for it. Okay, I'm not someone that's into bougie wearing like what's it called, ball gowns and stuff like that. I'm not that guy. Give me a red carpet to Vapiano's and let me have unlimited gambarees.
As for me, I'm not really a foodie, although I have been on the bigger side of life my whole life. I'm not much of a foodie, but I want to dress up. I want to put some nice.
So what would be your red carpet then?
Me and her maybe hosting the Oscars.
It's a red carpet, not hosting.
That's why I'm on the red carpet.
Oh, fair enough.
It will be the Grammys, Oscars, Bobos, BET Awards.
So they're very different, you see.
Yeah, I'm all about that.
And I'm all about food, so.
Soon come. Younger Devious.
Oh my days, he said Younger Devious.
GWL in the building.
You got your research.
If you could go back, what would you change your tag name to? Would it still be Younger Devious?
Yeah, I liked it. I thought I was crumbs. I'm not gonna lie. I thought I was crumbs. I was like, no one can tell me nothing. When they were like, who's that girl? I was like, yeah, Younger Devious, so. And what? I'm from Peckham, SC15. Keep it. Younger Devious is what I keep.
No problem. I was from West London, so it was all, you know. I'm from West London, so it was all UB, man.
Fair enough. Yeah, no, I think I only travelled into West with college. That was it. I didn't know about West before, man.
But I'm originally a South boy. I'm from Old Kennel. No, wait. Oh, damn. What is it called? Dockenham Hill. Yeah.
Oh, just down the road there.
Yeah, man. Champion Hill.
Funny, man.
Champion Hill. Yeah, trust me. Best advice you've ever been given?
My pastor, when we had premarital counselling, and he said, never stop saying sorry, and never stop forgiving and never stop saying sorry. Those are the two things to never stop. That's for me.
Best advice I've heard, it wasn't to me, someone else said it to someone, and it was stay ready so you never have to get ready.
True that. Believe that. Yeah, love it, love it. Who finds the best programs to watch?
Me.
No, we're different.
No.
We're different.
No, we're not. Trust me, guys.
That's why I didn't want to ask it.
If you ever want series,
she watches some foolishness. I like. It depends. Like,
he likes documentaries.
I like documentaries. I love, Michael Jordan's one.
He doesn't even know the name of it. See, that's how rubbish.
I don't care. Do you know what I love? I love seeing sports documentaries.
Yeah.
Where people have gained and lost and gained.
Yeah.
I also like documentaries where it delves into the mind. Literally, I just finished watching the Michael Jackson documentary as people just put on live, and it went into how, from a young age, from his dad telling him that his nose was big.
Oh yes, yeah. I want to watch that.
His mind to say that he was ugly. So every time he looked at himself,
he saw himself
he
ugly.
He saw the ugliness, and that's what he tried to constantly change. I love a documentary.
Well, if you want something more lighthearted, just come to me. Okay. I have every subscription service. Me and my brethren, we've all swapped. So I use her Netflix. She uses my Disney.
Oh, cool.
Like I'm the person. I watch Chicago Fire,
Love
Law
it.
and Order,
Okay.
SVU. All of them come to me. I'll hook you up.
You know what, Adrian? Check out on Netflix something called Bad Sport.
Seen it.
Oh my gosh.
Look at you, you're like a 2-year-old. Seen it. Seen it.
It was good.
That was shocking, bro. All right, last few questions. What country would you both love to retire to?
Retire. See, that's different.
What's different?
Because you're like.
Oh,
boring.
I want to go to. No, I'm not.
I'm like active.
You said countries. You didn't say activities, thing, man.
Yeah, but obviously you're gonna go.
So
to, like,
basically, I want to go to like
Barbados.
Northern Lights, somewhere real cold. Where was it that I was reading about it the other day? I cannot remember the country.
Iceland.
But for the next couple of months, it's going to be nighttime. Like, it's dark. There's no sun. For like the next 3 to 4 months. That's the kind of place that I would want to retire to.
Really?
Yeah. I don't like the sun. I like the cold. I want to be in a big jumper.
I was going to say, I thought you were going to tell the story about the anniversary. No, not anniversary, the honeymoon. So on a honeymoon, she wanted to go to the ice hotel.
Oh, yes.
And I was like, we live in England. Why would we go to pay money to get on a flight to now stay in a cold place?
My wife, I hope you're listening. My wife, I hope you're listening. I
can't take the hit. But what country would you?
I'd definitely go.
Michelle?
No, somewhere maybe to retire. It's gonna be either Caribbean or Ghana.
No.
Oh my gosh.
Caribbean, Ghana, or Dubai. One of the two. One of the three.
And they're all hot. So
Caribbean, Ghana.
We're gonna have to work this thing out. We're gonna have to do 6 months.
That is nuts.
6 months where I want to be.
Wow, love it. Last question. What one question would you hate for me to ask?
What question? Damn, these questions are good.
And you'd probably still answer it, but you'd be like, oh, damn.
No, there's not really nothing that I wouldn't answer. Like, that I would feel a certain way. We're quite open in that way. So, like, our whole journey on Instagram and TikTok or whatever, we're quite open to say, like, this is marriage, this is relationship. We're not perfect. Like, that's the reason why our name is Relationship Goals, because we're not showing you a perfect picture, which so much time social media does. Yeah. We're showing you, like, this is real. We have arguments, we have ups, we have downs.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's just relationships either. But with us being married also, he also is Adrian and I also am Tara. So even though we're one, we're still our own person.
Yeah, 100%.
So I think we're pretty open to answer any questions about ourselves as well as well as marriage.
Yeah, love that.
So I think probably the question that I probably dislike the most, or not dislike, but I'd find it hard to answer, probably is why am I so hot-headed? Like, I can be quite hot-headed with something that's so. Thank God for this guy. Honestly, during this whole COVID thing, I've been a nightmare. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, the third day into being locked in the house, I was in the bathroom and I was spazzing. I was like, Adrian, are you mad? You see, when I come out this house, it's gonna be mad. Like, what are you talking about, Tara? And this man is standing there like, I think it's time for us to pray. I think we need to go pray. You get what I mean? So that would probably be my kind of thing. Like, why are you so hot-headed? I wouldn't know how to answer that question. But,
would you? This is jumping the gun because I do want to go in order, but would you knowingly have picked someone like Adrian, who is quite calm in demeanor, and very patient? Would you have intentionally picked someone like that? Or did it just happen like that? No.
It just happened.
Yeah.
I was very blessed to get the guy that I got because I remember when we first got married, and one of my arguments was, why don't you just argue back?
Yeah.
Let's just argue, get it out. I'm hot-headed. If we both just bang our heads together, argue for an hour, we've sorted it, we're good, we keep it moving. Whereas I can't take the quiet, or I'm having an issue and you're just there like, no, be hot-headed with me. But then I realised also that if I had someone that was like me, we probably still wouldn't be married anymore. Because it would just be fighting and banging heads all the time.
Yeah.
So I'm very blessed to get what I got, even though I didn't ask for it, but I'm very blessed.
Love it. So let's take it to, and you mentioned it in the beginning, which is quite good, about looking at you two as individuals, because that is something that in marriage sometimes gets overlooked. That you're two people that came together, but you're two people, two individuals with whole, with histories, with, habits, with mentalities, two totally different people that come together. And I think that is one of the, I've been married for 8 years now, or 9. 2012. 13, 14, 15, 16, 8 or 9 years coming. That, I think that is one of the beautiful things about marriage, that two people from two different backgrounds and two histories can come together and make that thing work. And I wanted to ask for each of you, what was one defining moment in your childhood that has made you into who you are now? My wife said 9 years. 9 years, yeah, my bad. So one childhood moment that really defined you as an individual and who you are now. And it could be good, it can be bad. There's that chuckle.
It's gonna sound pretty negative, I suppose. I don't think I had a great upbringing. Obviously, you get disappointed as a child. I always say that to Tara, that there are certain things that affect me now because of my childhood. So one thing I don't like doing is disappointing people, and that's from me being so disappointed in my childhood. Like I might be disappointed through a family member that didn't do something for me.
Yeah. So
my expectancy from people at a stage in my marriage, in my adulthood, was like, because I do everything, because I'm willing to do anything for anyone, I expect that from everyone.
Yeah.
But obviously, not everyone's got the same thinking as me. That's something that I constantly deal with. Like, I have to train myself, like, literally daily, to think that that's not really the right thought process.
For me, I feel like even though my mum has given me everything that I could ever want, I mean, very blessed, very blessed. I didn't want for anything. My mum taught me that I needed to learn how to fight for things. So,
sorry, did you say fight through things or fight?
Fight for things.
For things, okay.
Yeah. My mum taught me that. I remember even being in school, and I went to a theatre school, and I was the chubby black girl, and there was one other mixed race person, and everybody else was white. And back in those days, when you're looking for castings, they're not really casting black people unless you're that random person that gets the Lion King or something like that. And I remember no one would take me seriously as a dancer, so I started to sing, and I taught myself to sing so that I would get chosen. And I think I've taken that mentality through everything, that nothing is ever going to come easy, and I'm going to have to constantly fight for everything. And even though that is positive, because I'm always going to fight, I'm never going to sit back. It also is a negative because I go into everything with like a bull type mentality. There's no calmness. It's like, all right, cool. If someone, even down to not just even work opportunities, even down to relationships, friendships, if I feel like a friend has looked at me in a certain type of way, I'll be like, raw, you good, yeah? Everything good, yeah? You cool? We good? When that's not the right mentality. Do you get what I mean? So I've learned that I have to fight for things because I've had to see my mum fight for things. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. And my mum to this day hasn't taken her foot off the accelerator. So I see her and I'm like, I have to be better than her.
Damn.
Because I've seen what she's had to do. So I have to fight even harder. You know?
Damn.
You just made it real deep, quick.
Sorry.
Nah, that's deep. No, because you just in your language and your wording, it changed. Because in the beginning you said your mum taught you, and then the way you ended it was what you observed. And so it's this whole thing of, there are certain things our parents will teach us when we're younger, but the most potent lessons we probably learn are the ones we observe.
Absolutely.
That they didn't teach us. Absolutely. And they didn't even probably mean to. She probably didn't mean it to be to that extent, but it's just the nature of what happens. And I'm a father. I've got a 2-year-old daughter, and I'm acutely aware. As she grows and becomes more aware of stuff, she's going to see things, or I'm going to teach her things, but there's going to be things that she just observes from me, and it's going to be good or it's going to be bad, and that's just the life. That's life. That's interesting. Okay, thank you for sharing that, guys. Another thing that does shape us definitely is our surroundings. And, you know, even there's videos, Tara, where you are Peckham through and through. You know, Adrian, you grew up in Battersea. These areas, you know, we know these areas. These areas are the roads. Like, you have to be fortified to be able to live in these areas. You've got to be able to handle yourself. You've got to be street smart. You've got to be aware. And I wondered, you know, there's moments that have happened in your childhood that have affected who you are, but your areas, how have your areas, growing up in those areas, affected who you are now as well? Adrian's shaking his head.
Even though I'm Peckham through and through, my mum had me on a tight leash.
Ooh.
So as much as I wanted to be out there like I'm a road girl, and I'm sitting on the corner of the street until 10 p.m. That wasn't my lifestyle. My mum wasn't having it. But I would say I had to learn to be tough because people in my area knew that I was different to them because I wasn't allowed to hang out in the estates. I wasn't allowed to chat to the man them on the corner. So I was given the title Stush. I'm Stush. So when I'm walking home, people would throw rocks at me.
Whoa.
And at me. No, on the real, because don't laugh, because it's actually serious. He actually got batted up in Peckham because of that.
Wait,
so don't try it.
whoa.
Don't try it.
Batted.
Don't try it. Batted. He got batted.
Batted.
100%. 100%. Batted. He did. 100%. And I was known as the girl that was Stush, or the girl that wouldn't sit down. Are you right?
Sorry. Batted. My God.
No, but on the real, I was the girl that was kind of, I had to be strong, and if they threw a rock at me or if they threw stones at me because they were trying to get to me, I had to be like, are you stupid? What are you doing? Are you dumb? So I had to back myself, basically. So there were people from Peckham that I got on with, but I also couldn't be hanging around with the girls. That's why GWL was in Thornton Heath. My mum didn't know about GWL, so that's where I resided. Thornton Heath was the place that I was in. So I guess it taught me to be strong and taught me to be, Tara, you're not going to be like everybody else, unfortunately, because your mum's not going to allow it. Do you get what I mean? So I couldn't be one of the younger Peckham girls. That couldn't be who I was, even though I wanted it. And for some reason, I craved it. I don't know why. That's why I found myself in Thornton Heath. Yeah, my surroundings, I kind of couldn't blend in with everybody else. My mum was like, you're not like them. I didn't create, not that they're any worse than me, but my mum was like, I'm involved in your life. So what's going on there is not happening.
Yeah.
And I remember these boys around the corner from my house would knock on the door and be like, hi, is Tara allowed out? My mum was like, are you mad? Tara allowed out who? Why do you know Tara's name? Why do you know Tara's name? But I say all of that to say that my surroundings taught me that you can't fit in with everybody else, and you kind of have to stand up for yourself and just be strong in yourself, basically. But
Jeez, love that.
Yeah.
Battersea, SW. Did you grow up around So Solid times?
Yeah.
With Stanley Estate and
That's him,
yeah. So I didn't grow up in Winstanley. I was literally right in the middle of the junction. That's where I lived for till I got married. 24 years. So my environment was mad. So both my parents were Christians at the time. So I grew up in a Christian household, like not being able to. I've never seen my parents argue until I was pretty much a late teenager. Now, just imagine people in the comments or yourself, like you going to school, seeing. First of all, I had both parents in my household, which was like rare. It was rare.
Same.
I went to a pretty decent school, and I did pretty good academically. Both parents had their own businesses, not just a job or a part-time job. So all of these things, successful businesses. Like, so when I'm going to school, I'm seeing people acting in a way where they've got the newest trainers, newest clothes. They're allowed out to whenever they want. They've only got one parent in the house, and if a guy does pick them up, it's a stepdad or it's an uncle or it's the mum's boyfriend.
Man.
And I see the way they speak to their parents, and I'm like, this is mad different to what I know. So at a young age, I realized I had to be a different person outside of the doors to come into my house. So I remember from early, going to school was a different guy. Like, I remember there's been times, I don't know, I can't even think right now. My mind's all over the place, but basically I had to be a different person. So let's go through primary school. I did quite well. My parents then sent me to a school in West London.
Hey, don't know.
So I went to...
What school was that?
Hurlingham and Chelsea.
Nah, don't know. Okay.
It's in Fulham.
Oh, okay, Fulham. Okay.
After going there, you gain friends, you get affiliated in that area, but you're also in your own area for like after school. Do you know what I mean? Two different areas, and but you're gaining. In secondary school, a lot of guys, they this is where they begin to feel, okay, I'm getting into myself. I'm knowing who I am. I know how to talk. I know the slang. I know how I'm gonna dress, and that started to build me. But what I realized again, going into the house, I had to be a completely different person to my parents. So
you had to be church boy.
I had to be a church boy, and this is where the conflict started with me and my parents. I used to hate them, like hate them, because I couldn't be who I thought was being me in my house. You know what I mean? I had to be the fake person, and I couldn't comprehend doing it all the time. So my relationship with my parents was bad. Outside, it was like, you know, I'm trying to be road, but just on the brink. I don't want to touch a gun, but I would carry a knife. I don't want to stab anyone, but I would fight. I want to get all the money that I can, but I don't want to shop because I'm scared. So that's what it taught me. And so what? So with my own area, when I know all of the man them, because we go to the same football club and wherever, but I would see the path that they went down, and I would hear in my head the messages or the lessons that my dad would teach me about what's going on. Thinking, you know, I already know it, but I'm seeing it now, playing out. And that's what, it helped me.
Wow.
But then, let's go back to when you said I got badded up.
No, you did.
I can't let Instagram just be believing that I got badded up.
Okay, shall I tell the story then?
You tell the story.
Okay, so basically, obviously...
Allegedly.
On the road, it's rude if a guy's trying to chat you up and you say no and you're not having it, you're not giving them your number. First of all, I'm not crazy. I'm not giving them my number because my mum will beat the living sense out of me. So I don't give these people my number, but they chill in the corner of where I live. And then I'm bringing a next guy from another area past them to my house.
Jeez.
Jackson!
That's not what he was saying when they tried to rob him. That's not what they were saying. But yeah, basically he got approached by these guys because I wouldn't entertain them, and they thought it was disrespectful for me to bring someone that isn't from Peckham to Peckham and basically show them that I'm with someone else, basically. So they tried to fight him. The first day they warned him, don't come back. He came back the next day.
That's right.
Wearing all my jewels.
Yeah, wearing all his
Junction.
jewels. Okay. And what Adrian won't tell you is that he tried to ring our doorbell, but me and my mum wasn't answering the door. So he got surrounded by them outside our front door. And then when my mum opened the door, he ran into the kitchen to get a knife with tears in his eyes.
How are you going to say tears? I'm surrounded.
He had tears.
Emphasize on the knife and the anger, aggression. You get the tears.
Sorry. And then my mum came out, and obviously my mum cussed everyone, but that's kind of...
I don't know in that story where I got badded. I don't know. They did approach me. My rebuttal is always comedy. Always comedy. Every time I feel backed up, I use comedy. So they're like, oh, I'm going to take your jewels. I said,
yeah,
I'm going to take my jewels.
Yeah.
And you obviously see that as, right, he's not rating us. So they call more. So the guys come on a car and walking. We're thinking, right, obviously this is not my area.
Yeah.
I'm like an hour away.
Yeah.
These times I haven't got no car. I'm not in no truck.
He's a kid. He's 16.
I'm 16. I'm like, all right. I'm knocking the door, no one's coming, ringing the bell, got my phone out, calling her. I'm thinking, what? She set me up. Honey trap. She set me up. Anyway, yeah, nothing happened. As soon as the door did open, you know, I tried to do what I tried to do, but from that day, I just thought, yeah, all right, cool. I know what it is now. I just have to step correctly.
Correctly, yeah. Tara, you know, in growing up in this environment, you know, you've talked about things like your love for music and, you know, just linking up with different people. And one of the people that you linked up with was Charms. Rest in peace, Charms. For you, because this happens a lot on the roads for young people at the moment, losing friends that are very close to them. For you, what was that experience like, losing Charms and the effect that it had on you at the time?
So, me and Charles were very, very close in school. Very, very close. But like, I mean, that was like my friends. I let the guy name me Cookies. That's what my name came after. After Younger DVS, it was Cookies. So,
thank God for that.
Yeah, we were extremely close. I remember the school that we went to, it was a private school. Sounds bossy, but it's really not. It literally was an old library, and they split years 8 and 9 up with a bookshelf. But because basically I couldn't behave myself, so my mum was like, "You're not going to centre, so I'm going to find somewhere for you to go, and you're just going to have to go there." And thank God I found Charms, Freddie, I found my other friends, Moses, and we were very, very close, very, very close. And he got me into actually, bro, I'm going to spit, like that's what I'm going to do. And I remember he used to write my bars for me at the beginning. So we used to write bars together, and he used to be like, "Yes, you've got to break it up like this. You've got to do it in like 8s and 16s and stuff like that." So we were very close. But then when we went to, I got put a year back in school because just of my attitude and my behaviour. So he was a year ahead of me, basically. So when he left school, I was in year 11, and we all kept in touch. And then by the time that he went into his second year of college, I went into my first year of college. I was in Hammersmith. Then he went to university. He's left London, and I'm still in London. We weren't as close anymore. But what I will always remember is I had work, and I was in the bath, and my friend from school called me, and they were like, "Chance is dead." And I was like, "You're lying." But obviously we didn't call him Chance then. We used to call him Carl. Like, Carl's dead. And I was like, "Nah, not at all, not at all." Obviously he was doing so well. Him and Sapar doing Kid and Play. They were killing it. And I remember just sitting there like, raw. That's the first friend that I'd ever had that had passed away. And not passed away from natural causes, but was killed. And I couldn't make sense of it. Even when we went to the memorial? We went to the memorial, and it just didn't make sense to me. It didn't make sense to me. Till now, it still doesn't make sense. But I think because we had those years apart, as in he'd left and gone to college, and we kind of went off in our own ways. Kind of everyone from school went to different colleges. So we all kind of went our own separate ways. It probably didn't affect me as much as we were still in school. But it shocked me, because why would anyone want to hurt Carl? Like, Carl. No, Carl was like the funny man. He was like Adrian, like the funny man, laughing, joking in a corner, but could keep it serious and was respectful. So it definitely hit me. And I think it hit me even more so at the memorial, because I realised that this is actually real.
So many young people going through, I guess young people are going through that at the moment with school friends, and I think there really just need to be some form of, I don't know, it has to be established in school that there are people that they can go to and have that support, because it must be so difficult for them to deal with. Moving on to your marriage, this was something that Adrian, you said, "My prayer is that our marriage will be a testimony that helps people."
Thanks.
My prayer is that our marriage will be a testimony that helps people. And you got on your knees to propose. And I wonder, there's a song that I love, it's called Winter Toes. I played it in the beginning. And it goes like this: I'm not a singer. Hello, hi, hello, hi. I'm not a singer. So what I'm about to do should not be judged in the same in the same way. Okay. Hello, hi. I'm just gonna say it. I'm not even gonna sing it.
No, come on, sing it, sing it.
You
No, you gotta sing it.
you said nah. It's not even going there. The words. The lyrics are: you sent me a picture of a ring and I got scared. I was so afraid, so afraid. You sent me a picture of a ring and I got scared. How are you so sure? What about the expectation? And I remember hearing that song. I think it's called Winter Toes and it's by Sango. And I just thought, wow, it's so, those words are so deep. Like, for you, Adrian, getting down on your knees, were there any doubts that you had, even though you were doing it? Were there, look at your face. Was there any point when you was like, actually, you know, after you've done it, was there any point where you're like, whoa, what have I done?
No, so the fear for me, sorry, 1 second. My fear has always been and always probably will be rejection. I can't stand the thing. I can't. It riddles me. Like I don't like rejection, innit? So yes, I wanted to propose. Yes, I wanted to spend the rest of my life with her. But the fear that I had of her rejecting me, because what I realized is on that day when I was like, yeah, I'm gonna propose, she can say no. She can say no, and everyone says to me, "Rah, yeah,
she won't say no
for this amount of time." I'm like, yeah, what does that matter? Look, that don't mean nothing, man. There's people that's been married 30, 40 years that get divorced.
Yeah, trust.
So I've said this to her many times. She knows this. I said to her, I said, there was a plan B in it. If you said no, because I proposed to her in outside the London Eye.
Yeah.
London Eye, and if she said no, I would have left her there, got in the car, and I would have gone on my jolly way. I would have went to where she laid her head and licked down the door and gone home. That was it. That would have been my, you get me? That's just me. If she said no, I would have licked down her mother's door, and that was it. Just go.
He's so silly because if he licked down my mum's door, it would have been a madness for him. He knows that already.
Well,
but yeah, he can't stand rejection.
So then for you, Tara, what were you thinking, or what was going through your head? Because you have talked about in previous interviews how you felt if you did it again, you wouldn't have got married at that time.
Yeah.
In your head, were you aware of what was happening, or was it just like the euphoria of everything? Yes.
Well, we'd always agreed that we weren't going to get married. That was our thing. We're not going to get married. We'll have kids. We'll live together. That's it. But
I tell them why we got. The only reason why we're married
So I don't know why.
is because of God. It's the only reason. Because we became Christians. That was the right thing to do. Pre-salvation, like before we became Christians, it was like, let's just move in together, maybe have a youth or two, do our thing. Like, you know what I mean? There was never marriage on the table, like ever.
Can I go back to answer my question? Thank you very much.
Sorry.
Thanks. So, for me, I mean, I had the most perfect lead up to marriage. We had all the premarital counselling. I mean, we had it like pretty much twice a month, every Saturday. We went with our pastor. I had my other friends that got married. They got married a lot younger than I did. They were 19. My friends toasted and married them. They got married when they were 19. But, I mean, their age means nothing because their maturity is out of this world, right? So I was hearing from them. I was, getting counsel from all these people. But when I look back, I genuinely coasted the whole situation. Coasted it. Because even when I look back, and you probably heard it in an interview, when I look back at our wedding video, I didn't take this thing seriously. Pastor's like, yeah, marriage is this, marriage is that. There's me talking to my best friend at the time, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is actually happening. Like, this is mad. Like, is my eyelashes still on? Like, all that nonsense. And then I remember 2 days or 3 days after the wedding, I called my mum and I called my sister and I cried. I said, I don't know why I've done this. I don't know why I've done this. Bearing in mind that we live less than 3 minutes away from my mum's house. So I'm like, I want to go home.
Yeah.
I don't want to be here. I don't want to be married anymore. And shout out to your song, Trouble in Paradise, because I just got to say I'm a massive fan anyway.
Oh, wow.
Okay? I'm a massive fan.
Facts.
Honestly, massive fan.
You would have been on the next fire in the car.
100%. 100%. That song, Trouble in Paradise, I'm like, oh my gosh.
Oh, snap.
Like, it's like the little things, like, we've got to go somewhere. And he's like, why are you taking long? Hurry up. I've prepared you for two weeks ago.
Knows.
You knew.
Now we know, because he's been married for 9 years.
100%, but it's even in the song, or, you know, where I think it's your wife that does the voiceover. And she's like, you haven't taken the bins out. Like, bro, big man. And it's almost like, it's mad because I've been with this guy since I was 14, but you never really know someone until you marry them. But not only that, you don't really know yourself properly until you marry
Come on.
So
Message.
I was
Message
learning
received.
who I was, and I was like, I don't like this person. I don't like this person. How do I get out and do my own thing again? So yeah, I've had many moments in marriage. The first 4 years, I was like, throw the thing away, man. This is long. Throw the thing away. Because I definitely thought that we were one of the first to get married in our friendship group. So we got married in 2013. The majority of our friends got married the year after. So we were out here struggling on our own. Like,
wow.
I'm not about to start telling women that are my friends, but they're not married. I'm not about to be like, oh, this marriage is long. Like, who was I going to talk to? I'm not going to put you off when you're about to be engaged and stuff like that. And I remember after church, we were living here, and then one of Adrian's closest friends lived across the road from us, and he had just got married. Wow. That was the year later. And then basically all of our friends got married in the same year, in 2014, and then all the guys went to Kenny's house and all the girls came to mine, as in the wives. And someone must have said something, and we were like, bro, you go through that too. You go through that too. You go through that too. And we were like, oh, I'm not out here struggling on my own. This is actually a normal thing. And I think when Adrian came home that day, I was like, oh, actually, I do like you, you know. Maybe it's not just us. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was a very long-winded answer. But yeah, there's been many times during our marriage I've been like, oh, lock it off, man. I can't be bothered. It's long.
But you know, you mentioned something that is just so true. You know, marriage will teach you more about yourself than the actual other person. Your selfishness, marriage requires as a must selflessness. And the nature of it is that we took care of ourselves for like 20 whatever years. It was just about me. What do I want to eat? Where do I want to go? What time do I want to wake up? Now you're asking me to think about that person first before me. Woo! Yo. Do you know how long it takes to adapt?
100.
And then you have a child.
I'm still adapting. I still don't.
I don't think you ever arrive. But
I don't even think it's about ever arriving. I think it's going against yourself. Yeah. That's what it is. And this is why I understand why God created this thing called marriage, because only God could create this. Because what is salvation is going against yourself and going against what I want. When I got married, I'm now going against what I want to do. Everything I have to basically pin myself on the cross to make sure that he's okay. So if both of us aren't pinning ourselves on the cross, then both of our needs aren't being met. So someone's always going to suffer.
Gunshots forever.
So I'm still learning. I mean, even today, I'm still like, come on, Tara. Like, honestly, I love him to pieces, but do I have to deny myself daily? Absolutely. Absolutely. Tara, I know you're sick. I know you don't feel well. Like, for instance, we're coming on this, yeah? This is how open me and Adrian are. We're coming on this to speak to you. Adrian's like, babe, I think you should do your hair, put some makeup on. I'm like, are you mad? Put makeup on. Are you crazy? Do you know how sick I feel, Adrian? Like, we're sitting here, just as the thing's going live, Adrian's like, you got sleep in your eyes, man. Clean the sleep out your eyes, man. And in my head, I'm like, I'm in the bedroom crying in pain. What are you talking about? And it's little things where I want to snap and be like, are you mad? Are you crazy? Where I have to be like, hold on a second. You're not going to talk to him like that and you're not going to disrespect him. So I'm going against myself to ensure that he's okay. Yeah. Even when I'm sick. And I don't want to make sure that he's okay, but I have to do that. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah. How important for you, Adrian, because you mentioned it as well before, about that respect element and the power of the tongue and the way that Tara, because Tara is fiery.
She's more than fire. She's like, what's more than lava? She's more lava. She's more lava. I'm like the ice. To be fair, look, I can be fiery, but one thing I've learned is there are two choices you have. You have option to react or to respond. Now, there has to be something that is it's earned the right for me to react. The reaction from me is like, Rah! It doesn't happen often. But if it does, that means it's warranted.
Jeez.
Now, a response is what most people get from me. Is that, okay, I've heard you. I have to think about this. How do I not offend? How do I come across like this is the best decision and the best thing that I'm going to say? It's a response. Now, I rather have peace than turmoil, especially in my home. Now, where we are, this is my palace. And I'd rather have peace in my palace where I lay my head than World War, whatever. You know what I mean?
But that also, we found in marriage that for me is very difficult because Adrian would rather want peace, which means that he won't deal with the issue.
Okay.
In her way.
No.
So I still have to learn to communicate better.
Yeah.
But where she would rather react, like even when I've reacted, and she said before, about half an hour ago, she said, why don't we just argue? When I argue, she's like, oh, why? And I'm like, you see the moment that she goes, oh. I'm like, oh my days, what have I done?
Yeah.
What have I done? Like, how can I treat you like you're my life partner? How dare I? Like, that's never happening again. You understand? So it's like a constant thing. Like, she said she was sick, so I cooked dinner today.
Oh, I'm not eating that, man.
So I'm here. I'm like,
no.
She asked me to put in some smiley faces in the oven. I thought, no. I said, all right. No problem. No problem, honey. Here you go.
Yes,
but
I do.
Respecting to Adrian is very important. I've seen it. I've seen that my mouth is very hot. And I see what it does. Okay, I'm going to take it there. When I have been disrespectful, like Adrian said, he would rather have peace in his palace. And it sounds very graphic, and I don't mean for it to be. It's almost like my attitude and my mouth is so bad that he quiets down, that basically I snatch his manhood away from him.
No, hear that.
And then I get irritated when he doesn't man up in situations. And then I'm like, why won't you deal with the situation? He's like, well, whatever I do, you cuss me. Whatever I do, you shout. Whatever I do is a problem. So I'll just keep quiet. And I learn, oh, no. I actually have to respect this man, like proper. And to be fair, it's respect something that I struggle with, probably. And I would say the reason why I struggle with the respect aspect is because we've been together for so long. We've been together since we were 14. So as far as I'm concerned, we're just, this is my boy, like, we're friends. Like, we're good friends and whatever. And I remember when, after I got married, and I looked at my friends, two of my friends in particular, that got married before me, and the way that they would coo about their husbands was mad. Like, their husband would walk through the door and they'll be like, oh my gosh, trying to get my husband's home. My name. All right, Adrian, you're home. You good, yeah? You're right, yeah? You cool? Like, that's how I've always been. But something that God has been teaching me for the last 4.5 years, is that I need to respect this man because he has to cover my home. And in order for him to protect our home, he has to trust that I respect him and believe that he's going to look after us and this house. Do you get what I'm saying?
100.
So
100.
It's not respecting necessarily the man that is here right now, because I do respect him, but I'm respecting the man that's going to be here in 10 years. And I'm respecting the man that is going to be the father of my kids. And do you get what I mean? Stuff like that. So, yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
You're amazing. Big up everyone that's joined us so far. We are here with the Thorpes, just chopping it up. Looking at the time, looking at time on the Rolex. Okay, cool. The valleys. What has been some of the darkest valleys that you've both had to walk through, and how did you get out of it? Because you've had things like homelessness, cars blowing up, miscarriages. What for you two would you say was the hardest thing to go through, and how did you get up out of it?
Do you want to go first?
Hardest thing to know, me personally, you mentioned some of the stuff, but I think the main thing was a bad marriage, lack of communication. Because I thought I was stuck in a place. Just like, you see depression. Depression is a place where it's like a tunnel where you can't see the end. You can't see any light at the end of that tunnel, and that's what I thought I was in. And because I was married at a young age, and I just felt hopeless. I thought, wow, I stuck. And I don't believe in divorce, so I was like, no, I'm stuck. I'm done.
Damn.
I haven't got any support here. Although I didn't have support from my wife, I wouldn't badmouth her to anyone. Like, there's not a person on this earth, from family to friends, that can say Adrian's ever said a bad word about her, even when we was going through the worst of worst. Now, because of that reason, I was like, yeah, I have literally no hope. So I was just like going around. My salvation was up and down. The thought to be better outside of marriage, I can't do it. Even now, if my marriage isn't going good, you probably know this, you can't function outside properly.
Don't work, man.
You can't do anything. So it's like
work.
My life was literally just going down and down and down, and I didn't know what to do. So that's the worst.
Damn.
The worst for me was probably losing my nan. That was very traumatic. Now, I know that we've gone through stuff like the miscarriage and the car blowing up and us not having a house. But the reality is we had somewhere to lay our head. It was unfortunately just on his mum's sofa. Do you get what I mean? Or even though we had a miscarriage, okay, we can have another baby. It shows we can have a baby.
Yeah.
But losing someone that I've had my whole life was very difficult. And that's probably one of the worst. And I think that's even something that I'm still having to deal with now. So one thing that I always appreciate is that when my nan went into hospital, she was in hospital for 4 months before she passed away. And let me tell you, you see, Adrian, he slept in the hospital with me. So my nan would be here. On one side of us was a chair that I would sleep on, and then on the other side of my nan's bed was like a little makeshift bed that they made for Adrian or my mum. And that was probably the hardest valley, like sleeping next to her and her passing away, but also having to respect him at the same time. So don't get it twisted, I was never the perfect wife. During the period of my nan going and her leaving, I was probably very coarse. But there was many times where I remember after her passing, Adrian would say something, and in my head I'd be like, are you done? I could have cussed you out today, but I haven't cussed you out because I respect you. So even in my grief and my pain, and I'm going through this valley, I have to also respect you at the same time. So that was probably the hardest valley, because obviously I have a relationship with God, but we understand why there's death. We get that. I understand that. I'm not like, oh my gosh, why did she die? Yeah. No, she lived to 81. She lived a long life. But I was just like, hold on a second. But what do I do now? Because she's my rock. That's my nan is my everything. Absolutely everything. And it felt like everything had been shaken. I definitely went through a period of depression. I wasn't coming out of bed. I wasn't eating. I wouldn't talk to nobody. And I don't know how that was for you to live in that, because even though this is his palace, this is my palace too. And if someone's grieving, how do you behave around that? But I would say that was probably the hardest valley for me, because again, I couldn't just think about myself. I also had to think about him. Yeah. And I had to think about, even though I don't want to talk, it's not fair that I won't talk when he's in his house too. Do you get what I'm saying? So that was a very hard valley. Everything else was tough, but losing my nan was probably the hardest valley in this marriage, because I had to still be a wife. I still had to show up as a wife when I didn't want to and I wasn't ready to.
And you know what, that there is, I think, one of the, thank you for sharing that. That there is one of the challenges of marriage, which is serving a role, but also being a person at the same time. It's very, because you're dealing with your own internal wars.
Yeah.
And then you're in a union. And there are wars in that union. You know, and I'm a father now, and I'm realizing, wow, there's internal wars that are in me, internal wars that are in my title as a husband, internal wars that are in my title as a father, all warring in this one body and this one mind. And I've still got to be mindful that we need to cook food. My daughter needs to get to bed. I need to pick her up from nursery. Wagwan, how much are the nursery fees? Wagwan?
Yeah.
What? I got to go to the office this week. And you're still trying to do life. And I think to do that all and balance it all through the valleys, it really makes, when we come up out of that valley, even more precious and beautiful, you know, because it could have all fell, you know, easily fell to pieces. You know?
100. Even when my nan went into hospital, that was June. That was June 2020. And we had just started Meet the Thorpes in March.
Oh my days.
So she went into hospital in June. No, sorry, that's a lie. Sometime in, and she passed away in October, 22nd of October, 4 days before my birthday. So she passed away. And then after her passing away and while she's in hospital, I'd have to be like, right, nan, my nan never was in the hospital. You know, like, we made sure that my nan was loved and she had someone. So every day my nan had a visitor. She was never in that hospital alone for days on her own, ever. We were always there. And I think what the hardest thing in that was, is that we still had to build Meet the Thorpes, because I decided I'm not going to be an estate agent no more. Okay, I don't want to do that no more. I decided that in August. So come October, I'm like, raw. Okay, I really want to stay in bed today, and I really don't want to talk to you, Adrian, today. Oh no, but you actually have to get up and make content. You actually have to start filming videos. And I'm like, I don't want to get up. I don't want to leave this room. Like, everything was struggling. My friendships were struggling. My marriage was struggling because of me, because I was going through so much. But I remember maybe 2 weeks ago, we were sitting down and we was talking to a friend, and I clocked that one of our videos went viral on the same day that my nan died.
Kidding.
So it was the 22nd of October this year, innit? And we went from having, so when we started our Instagram, we had like 300, 400. So in October, we probably had like 1,000 followers. So in the space of the year, we got 24,000 followers. And on that day, like what you said, you come out of it and you're like, raw. It makes these moments even more precious. You know what I mean? So,
come on.
Yeah.
Mad. Going on to that then, how has it been having all these new eyes on you? Because you're essentially, you go from being obscure to just having new eyes on you, and probably new love, but also new critique. What's that been like, having a viral moment?
For me, I like it, innit? It's what we need. It's like what we prayed for. We asked for God to expand our reach. It's happened. Like, it's happened super quick. Super quick. Things that we've been doing for way before Meet the Thorpes, way before the cameras. Now we're just like documenting it. And it's like, wow, people actually enjoy it. People have always said, once people meet you, it's just like they like you. There's something about you guys. And we're like, before, Tara's always wanted to do this. And I've been like, nah, man, I'm tired from work. I don't want to do this. As soon as lockdown hit, I had no excuse. She got sent home for furlough, and I was a subcontractor. So it was like, oh boy, this is twiddling thumbs now. I didn't have an excuse. So it was like, all right, let's just do it. And we did it.
Yeah.
It's here now. You get me? So I'm grateful. I'm grateful for every single person that presses a like, every person that shares our content, every person that comments, good or bad. It just shows me that you've seen it.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I think for me, I thoroughly enjoy it. I love it. I appreciate every single person that follows us. Even when people see us on the road and they come up and they speak to us, we appreciate all of that.
100%.
I think for me, I've had to learn certain things. So, for instance, there are some comments that can be really cutthroat and really like, ooh, bro, you actually came for the jugular today. Okay. But I'm having to learn to move forward. And it's just like, to be fair, out of 100%, if there's 1% of negativity, but am I doing what I love? Yes. And I'm so blessed that we have this community that God has allowed us to create and have. And I guess there's things that you can learn. Like, I think someone further up in the comments was like, oh, she's chatting bare, innit? Like, she's just chatting bare. All right, cool. I hear you, bro. So I'm going to step back. I'm going to let him talk. Because I can. But I guess that you learn stuff about yourself. I've learned stuff about myself doing Meet the Thorpes. And I thoroughly enjoy it, man. I couldn't imagine going back to my 9 to 5, being behind a desk, because I feel like my big thing is to show Meet the Thorpes, not as perfection, because we're not perfect, but to show normal Christian people, man, that love God and that love each other, and they choose every day to stay in a marriage.
Come on.
Yeah.
Not weird, like, righty then.
Yeah, no.
We're not like that.
Yeah, 100%.
It's not
I said righty then.
100%. You can definitely still wear your track star. You can wear a Pangaya tracksuit.
Come on.
You can be into fashion. You can care about the things that you care about and still be a Christian and love Jesus. Just because you're a Christian, it doesn't mean that you're wearing skirts down to your ankles. If that's your conviction, and that's your conviction.
You know, one of the funniest things I'm gonna find since Meet the Thorpes is that the 2 viral videos of her rapping, they're both Christian songs.
Yeah.
Like, one was hers and one was like Esso's.
Who was
you've
rapping?
Got people in, say that again?
Who was rapping in the first one? Was it Esso?
Esso,
Esso.
We got Esso.
And in the comments on Charlie Sloth's thing, people are saying Christ is king. And I'm like, rah, they have no idea that this is not like a normal garage thing or a grime thing. Like, it's gospel bars, blatantly gospel bars. You know what I mean? And listen,
we're enjoying the ride.
100.
We're enjoying the journey, and we pray that this thing continues to take off.
Amen.
But not only that, our prayer, which we definitely pray, is God, keep our hearts turned to you. Let us not become, what's the word? Become confident in our own selves.
Yeah.
This is all about you, God. So whatever it is that you want to use us for, use us.
Amen.
And it's scary sometimes, because I'm like, sometimes I'm scared to say Jesus. Like, because people be like, all she does is talk about Jesus. Yeah, that's all I'm going to talk about. That is what I'm going to talk about, because that's the only reason why I'm still standing here. And this is the only reason why there is Meet the Thorpes, because of Jesus.
Big facts.
Love that.
So, yeah.
Just rounding up, I'm going to ask if there has been a prank. What prank was for both of you? What prank was the hardest to get over? Get over and be like, all right.
So we pranked. Well, it was her idea. I don't know if my mum's watching. I saw my sister log on somewhere. It was her idea to prank my mum
about the pregnancy. When I was watching that one, I said to my wife, I said, "It's gone too far." It's because.
If you see that video on YouTube when we pranked my mum that we're pregnant, yeah.
Your face.
I'm literally sitting there like, I don't want to do this to her, and I did minimal speaking, because I know the expectations. My mum wants to be a grandma. Yeah. She wants to see a little Tara or Adrian.
She's bought a dress for the baby and all sorts already.
Woo!
I would probably say that was the harsh. No, I'd say that the prank, it wasn't me that had to get over it. It was when we pranked his mum again and told his mum that he had been arrested. That
was mad. I didn't mind that though.
But she cried over the phone.
Oh man.
And and she was like, Adrian, don't worry. And, you know, she was encouraging him. She was like, God is going to get you through this, son. Don't worry about it, son. God's going to get you through it. She's bawling. And then we say it's a prank, and he's like, I can't talk now. I've got to go.
And that was it. Both of them pranks, we found it extremely hard to speak to her after.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, it wasn't good.
Yeah.
We weren't getting a normal response that we were getting.
But I feel like the pranks between me and him, we've been doing this since we were 14. He pranked me a month before
getting engaged.
We got engaged and pretended that he was going to propose a month before in the exact same place. So this is what we do. We've been pranking each other since we were kids.
Yeah.
So I think we've gone beyond the point of being like, oh no, you took it too far, because you give as good as you get. But there's limits to this. So we've always said we're not doing cheating pranks, we're not doing divorce pranks, those stuff, because we believe whatever you speak, it has power and it has, do you know what I mean? So we're not about to be doing them kind of pranks. So I think, personally for me, I don't think you've done a prank where I'm just like, oh, you took it too far with me.
Yeah, I don't think, you haven't taken it too far. There are pranks that
irritate
me, and I'm like, you're doing too much. Not today. Or, do you know what I mean? Or there have been pranks that have failed when I've either seen the camera or we couldn't put it out because it didn't go well.
Or there has been pranks where I've reacted badly and he's reacted badly, and we're like, for the sake of our marriage, we're not putting this out.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, 100%. Because we have to protect our marriage. Because once this is all done, we're still married.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, someone said the subway prank, that one hurt, I'm not going to lie.
For real?
That hurt, man. I dressed up. I don't even wear dresses.
She thought she was going Betty Arnold.
I don't even wear dresses. I don't wear dresses.
The way you looked up at the subway sign, when it kind of dawned on you, was like, this is a prank. But your body language is like, damn, I don't know how I'm going to recover from this one.
100. That irritated me, because I don't wear dresses and I don't wear heels. That's not my thing.
Mm.
I'm a trainers, tracksuit, jeans kind of girl. Okay, but yeah, that hurt. That one stung a bit. I'm not gonna lie. He definitely took me out to eat after.
Good.
But that one stung a bit. I'm not gonna lie.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, man.
Well, thank you so much. There was something that you said. Yeah, there was something. Tara, just ending on this. Tara, you said, "I've never seen a successful marriage," and that was in the beginning. Sometimes the root of your fears and concerns about marriage. But I think I speak on behalf of all of us that you guys are living out a successful marriage and giving us the chance to see reality. This is reality TV. It's actually reality TV whereby people can see, and I love that, in being Christians, because it shows, like you said, the reality of marriage, but the reality of marriage in faith, and how it is our faith that is actually carrying us through the highs, the lows, the ups, the downs, the successes, the viral. It's our faith that's the only glue that is taking us through the valleys and the mountaintops. And we don't see that. In fact, I don't think we've never seen it. We've never, no, we've never seen it. And it's important for you to keep going. But it's also important to keep going, but it's also important for you to know when you don't have to do it no more. And when, okay, cool, yeah, we've done our run. This is where the track ends. But until that time comes, we salute you, we love you, and we're going to just be supporting you. And that's what today was, to just kind of unpack and just shine a light on what you guys are doing, and just pray God continues to guide, direct, give you a lot of wisdom, and take it to where he needs it to. Take it to who he needs it to. For their own marriage, for their own future, for their own relationships. So shout outs to you guys.
Appreciate it.
We appreciate it. Thank you for letting us come on your platform.
Oh, come on, man.
Definitely.
Honestly, I say this all the time to Adrian, because I play your music all the time in the car. When Adrian was like, "No, babe, it's icy," I was like, "No, it's not. No, it's not." Have I not been saying it? I said, "No, it's not."
Maddest thing, because obviously we follow your music, but then you done a sit down with Kenny. That's one of my closest brethren.
That's my boy, man. So yeah. Do you remember that? That's where I first met you, Kenny, at Hyde Park, when we did the shoot for Play Dot and Tag.
You remember that?
Terror Tag, yeah.
Mad.
I've still got the pictures, yeah.
That's mad.
Crazy. But yeah, no, I'm a massive fan. Honestly,
Oh, thank you.
All your songs.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah. So
Love.
honestly, we really appreciate you.
Oh.
And thank you for speaking to us. And hopefully we can chop it up again in the future.
100%, man.
Connect and,
100%. Always. Please rest up and yes, Corona not get you anymore.
Hey, listen,
100.
we're
Pray
out
for me,
here
guys.
tomorrow. We
Pray for me.
outside.
What are you doing tomorrow?
Pray for me. My breathing, just pray for me for my chest. And as soon as this is done, I'm taking this hat off and jumping straight back into bed.
Oh, yeah, I saw Peggy in the comments. She brought us our medication today. Big up, Pegs.
Big up, Peggy.
Yeah, thank you.
No worries at all. Take care.
Thank you, guys.
Love,
Bye.
always, man, always. Guys, thank you so much for joining us today. 21 Questions with the Thorpes. Please follow, like, subscribe, check them out, and the amazing stuff they do. Could you, in the comment section right about now, just write down how you found the live just now, if you enjoyed it, if you didn't like it, let us know in the comment section. Please follow us. We're going to be back here next Thursday at 9 p.m. And if you haven't watched all the previous episodes, we recommend you do. Click on our IGTV icon. I don't know what they call it now. But we've got 67 episodes that you can just binge on. Zizi Mills, William Adewasi, Irene Agboltine. Who else have we had? We've had Velma Simmons, Dior Bediako. Go and check them out. It's been an amazing run, and we're trying to get to 100. So we're almost there. Thank you for taking your time to join us. If you want to find out any more of what we're doing, just follow us. Click that follow button, and you can keep up to date. All right? Take care. God bless. I've been I was blind, but now I see. And this is the Sit Down UK. Peace.